But the Cubans have done something that has never happened in the 60-year dictatorship, which is spontaneously uprise in 40 different cities at an incredible risk to their lives.
Continuing coverage of those Cuban freedom protests, and we're learning that the rare demonstrations in Cuba hit close to home for many in Louisville, as there are many Cubans that live in the area.
And Spectrum News 1's Eileen Street spoke to one Cuban American in Louisville about this important and historic event for her motherland.
Maria Rodriguez hadn't heard from her family in Cuba since Monday.
I know my brother-in-law is, well, he's connected, appears to be connected right now.
But that changed Wednesday.
So it's quiet, but the streets are full of military and people that works for the government.
She says all of her family in Cuba have been protesting, like her younger brother who is a doctor.
They have orders by the government that they cannot assist anybody from the Cuban people coming injured by the police. And I got a statement from my brother. He's like, I'm not gonna deny my help to anybody. I'm a doctor and I'm gonna help whoever needs my help.
It started Sunday, Cubans in the streets protesting food shortages, rising prices, and other issues amid the COVID-19 pandemic, but also freedom from the country's communist government, which Rodriguez says is what the protests are really about. Watching the news from afar, Rodriguez has mixed emotions.
Frustration and it's impotence because we're trying to help our people and we're handcuffed right now. There's nothing we can do.
But at the same time, happy that Cubans are finally protesting.
So they've been, for 62 years, terrified of that, and seeing them take that step and they're like, I'm not afraid anymore. I want my freedom. So that it's pretty surprising and at the same time joyful, and I'm proud of them for doing that. My dad, and my auntie.
She's also proud of her family for protesting, but also concerned for their safety.
My eyes are swollen. It's like I've been crying so much since Sunday that my eyelids is like a little bit swollen, and I'm like, I don't know if I ran out of tear already. But it's a whole mixture of emotions.
Since the protests started in Cuba, the Cuban community in Louisville has had 2 protests. Rodriguez, who came as a political refugee from Cuba 13 years ago, has been to both. She says to support freedom for the Cuban people.
Not only the success part for them if they are able to, to have their own business or not that economic side, but I want them to be able to tell how they feel. Like, I'm a Trump supporter. Who's gonna mess with that? So you either respect it or don't like it, or like it or don't like it. They can do that in Cuba. So if they go to the street and they say, I don't like my president, they could face jail.
Even though these protests in Cuba have surprised Rodriguez and the rest of the world, she has hope they will spark change.
This protest doesn't mean that Cuba's gonna be free this week, next week, but it's the beginning of hope and a new tomorrow for my people. For sure.
In Louisville, Eileen Street, Spectrum News.
Eileen, thank you for that report. And Rodriguez says she became a U.S. citizen in 2017, and she told Spectrum News 1 it was the best day of her life besides the birth of her kids. Now, according to the U.S. Census, Kentucky has a Cuban population of around 26,000.
Happening today, several thousand Kentucky families should start seeing a new tax credit in their bank accounts. Congress passed a new child tax credit worth up to $3,600 in the American Rescue Plan Act. That money will start going out today in increments each month, and then the rest will come when you file your taxes. Congressman John Yarmus says lawmakers need to make the benefit permanent.
We're making it possible for parents to build a stronger future by helping them pay for childcare, put gas in the car so they can get to work, and help fuel our economy while building better lives for their families. Simply put, we are setting children and parents up for success, and it's about time they were the priority of our tax code.
If you filed taxes the past 2 years, you should see the first check today. $300 for a child under 6 and $250 for any child between 6 and 17. You still qualify even if you didn't file a tax return either of those years. Just go to SpectrumNews1.com and click on this story to find out how to get it. Americans are taking advantage of the special enrollment period for Affordable Care Act coverage. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announcing more than 2 million Americans have signed up during President Biden's special enrollment period. The relief package passed back in March made 2 changes to premiums for all enrollees, making it more affordable. Also, administration officials say Medicaid hit an all-time high of 81 million in February. Families of 4 with a combined income of a little over 100,000 are eligible for the first time. The special enrollment period ends August 15th, but it may be extended.
We know the coronavirus pandemic changed life as we know it, and now studies are finding it caused millions of children worldwide to miss routine vaccinations. Researchers analyzed immunization data from 1980 to 2019 to estimate how many routine vaccinations would have been expected if the pandemic never happened in 2020. And it found at least 17 million children worldwide likely missed routine vaccinations during the pandemic. The study coincides with data showing orders for routine vaccines for children were also down during the pandemic. The disruptions in vaccinations impacted both high-income and low-income nations and were most severe in April of last year across all regions, and that's what researchers found. Louisville Metro Police is looking for a man who escaped Metro Corrections last week. Friday, July 9th, Terrell Gray escaped custody just 1 day after appearing in court. A complaint from Jefferson County District said Gray used the identity of another inmate to be released, and he reportedly did this by using their armband and answering the questions related to the identity of the other inmate. Metro Police say Gray's whereabouts are currently unknown, and LMPD asked anyone with information to contact them at 502-574-5673.
JBS USA, a national food processing company with a facility in Louisville, is pledging $1 million to the Downtown Family YMCA. The company is giving the donation as a part of its $50 million Hometown Strong initiative. The initiative seeks to donate to communities in the U.S. where it has plants. According to a release, money will go towards helping the Y with child care, community outreach, youth programming, and membership and program scholarships. The program will also give JBS employees memberships to the YMCA for the next 5 years.
And take a look at this. We have a black bear that's on the screen climbing down a tree in North Carolina to get some tasty treats, and we're told jelly donuts and sardines did the trick. The bear was seen around the local hospital tree early Wednesday morning. An employee at the state's Wildlife Commission says the bear probably showed up Monday night. Wildlife officials plan to stay at the hospital to make sure Rex is safe.
A bear that likes jelly donuts.
And sardines. Whew. An interesting appetite there.
The sardines I can understand. The jelly donuts kind of surprises me a little bit.
Hey, well, the things you know or learn from that. So.
Yeah, I'd go for the jelly donuts over the sardines any day.
That's right. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Chris Havley to talk about our weather here across Kentucky on this Thursday. And Chris, what do you have on tap for us today?
Looking pretty dry out there, Mario, today, so I think a lot of folks will be able to get outside and maybe catch up on some yard work or maybe just enjoy the day. There is going to be that small chance for a pop-up shower in the afternoon, but a lot of us, if not most of us, are going to be dry today. Temperatures right now are warm and muggy. It's 73 currently in Louisville, 70 in Jackson, upper 60s Lexington and E-Town. So as you head out the door, you're going to feel that kind of balmy condition as you walk outside and get ready to get your day started. Current radar right now, though, just a couple of very small isolated showers in extreme south central Kentucky, but they are very small to say the least. Otherwise, we are quiet across most areas. Temperatures here this afternoon warming into the upper 80s in the lower 90s under mostly sunny skies. And again, there is that small chance for a spotty shower, but most of us will be dry. But again, the main story is going to be probably that heat. With the heat index, when you factor in the temperature and the humidity, it's going to feel like possibly 97 by 4 o'clock in Louisville, close to 100 in Owensboro, and some low 90s heat indices once you get east of I-65. So stay hydrated, stay cool. Tonight, we're back in the mid-70s in Louisville, upper 60s Lexington, 70 in Covington, and down to 71 in Bowling Green for another mild and muggy night, but we are quiet. Now, I think toward early tomorrow morning, we could see a few isolated showers or storms in extreme northern Kentucky, but the better chance for rain, I believe, for most of us will be during the afternoon, as we'll see more scattered showers and storms pop up ahead of a cold front, which will move into Kentucky as we go toward the weekend, meaning we're in store for an unsettled stretch of days. Friday's highs mid to upper 80s with those scattered storms. I'll talk more about the weekend in that 7-day forecast coming up.
Whew, when you factor in those heat indexes, that changes everything when you're outdoors.
Oh my gosh, it certainly does. It is muggy and miserable out there sometimes, so hopefully everyone will just try to stay cool today.
Absolutely, and that's the good plan for sure.
Yep, all right. This is a good pool day for you, by the way.
It is. I have it on my radar.
Write it down.
That's right.
All right, well, you're so glad you're with us this morning on your morning news. Here's a look at what's coming up next. Jets are taking flight in Campbellsville. We'll tell you what inspired some local RC pilots to fly high.
Plus, the Biden administration brought in a Gen Z icon to promote COVID-19 vaccinations. We have those stories and more when your morning news returns in less than 3 minutes.